Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me. I have another video. This time we're going to make a necklace and a pair of earrings. We are first going to dive into the necklace. I am bringing out some hemp cord. This is from Bead-Alon. This has a variety of sizes. We are using the 10-pound, which is on the hair, just like right on the brink of being too thick for these little rondelles. We are going to be using the #1 bead box from this month's Double Gemstone Beads of the Month Club. We are going to be using the 4x6 millimeter rondelles. I dumped out a bunch here. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. And let's see here. I have no tools yet because we won't use tools until we get to the end. And I believe I have about 50 inches of this. And I did go through a few of them to make sure. And I cannot wait to show you a few of the beads, how they're drilled, which is so much fun. And I cannot wait for you to see those. So I think those are right there. I am bringing a lobster clasp from my stash. There is another lobster clasp. And there is also another toggle. There's also some of the silicone bails there. I have those kind of set for other things. So I did bring out a toggle clasp from my own stash. But I am using those chunky, one of the chunky oval jump rings from the companion pack. I love that companion pack. I'm going to have a link in the description for the unboxing that I did for this Double Beads of the Month Club in gemstone from Adornable Elements. I'm also going to include, I've already done one project. I made this bracelet using some of those big chunky jump rings, as well as some spacer beads from Tierracast and the rice beads from the pack, and then also to one of those gorgeous large lobster clasps from the Findings pack. I love the Findings pack. I feel like it is a great add-on for your monthly subscription. I do have a coupon code in the description. It is BELLA10 and it'll give you 10% off of your first month subscription. I also have a couple of tiny little jump rings from my stash. Let's see if I can pick them up here. From my stash. And these will be to connect the jump ring and the lobster clasp. Now, I don't have bright copper ends, but these are just little fold ends that I'm going to use for the end of the necklace. I also have some spacer beads. We saw these in the bracelet video. If you did not catch the bracelet video, please check the description. I have it there too. Now, something that I like to do is when you look at this, it looks a little pointy. It's not bendy like this side. This is the end. I think I have about 50 inches if I didn't mention that. See how this is very bendy? What I did on this side was I took some Loctite and I just squeezed a little dab, and I love the Loctite because it's gel and then I can really see what I'm doing. And what I do is I put a dab on that and then I just run it through like the first 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the end, and then I grab it around the paper towel and do this to just kind of make sure that it's nice and flat, and then or stays round, and then I go ahead and I do this here. That's why the tips of my fingers are all glued up, because I was doing that. And I do that so that it stays round and doesn't completely flatten out, but it's not so thick. And that's why I run it through the paper towel so that the excess comes off and it's not a thick glob on here, because then it won't fit through for sure. What I want to do is I want to find the middle, and the middle is right here. Okay, and so I could let's go ahead and attach the we'll go ahead and attach the folding cap here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my chain nose pliers, and I just found the middle, and all I'm gonna do, and you can do this several different ways. You don't have to use the folding end. You can very easily put your lobster clasp on here. I try not to go directly onto the wire only because the lobster clasp, it can malfunction. And if it malfunctions and you've got it tied directly onto your stringing material, then you have to take it all apart. Are there times I do that? Yeah, there are, but I try not to. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just take my scissors and cut just like so. Now, what I can do is I can take some of that Loctite, and I can add like a little dab of it on my little folder here. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you could just go ahead and take a dab, squeeze a little bit on there just for a little bit of added protection. Okay. Then just take your ends, make sure they're meeting, and go ahead and just place them in there. And then I just kind of hold on to it a little bit. And then what you want to do is then you fold over. There's several different ways of folding over. I learned by doing a TP. I learned this from Kelly Sutton, making a little TP. So bringing the tops together like so, and then just putting that on my chain nose pliers and then folding down, and look, it makes it perfect. And what you can do is you can go in, since I do have a little bit hanging out right there, I can go in with maybe my cutters here and just cut. You can just cut a little bit of that thread off. I'm not too worried about it at all because I'm gonna go ahead and put a jump ring in there, but that's how it turned out. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, thank you, Kelly, for that tip. Now what I wanna do is I am going to pass, I think this is the needle-ish one. I'm gonna pass one through one side. And the reason why I put the glue on there to give that needle finish is so that it won't fray on the end too, because this is a pretty tight fit. Okay, so I'm going to put one on, and you can put a secondary one on the other side if you want to, but I am just going to do it that way. Then what I'm going to do is pass this through. I guess I could glue both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that through, because that's what you get when you don't glue on this side. I didn't even think of gluing that side. So let's go ahead and glue it. So I'll show you how I do it. So I go ahead and I grab my paper towel. I always have a piece of paper towel there. That's where I went the last time. Okay, so then I'm going to take just a dab like so. Okay, take that end and I'm just going to run it across like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the end and pass it through like that, and it gets all the excess off, and then I just do this, and then I end up with glue on my fingers. Not that much, just a little bit. But then to take it a step further, I will come in and I'll just cut this just on an angle. And sometimes I do it before, sometimes I do it after, because sometimes if I do it like this, it could possibly cause it to fray. Okay, and it's pretty instant. I didn't have to wait for it to dry. And something I did not take into consideration was, will the second one fit through? Okay, it will, but that is a really tight fit. Okay, so there we go. All right, so, and what I can do is I can tie a knot right here. Let's go ahead and tie a knot. Just a standard overhand knot on this end here, okay? And that is just to keep that in place. Make sure that you're going even with your knot. See how I kind of that a little. Okay. And this is cosmetic. Has nothing to do with safety or anything. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring that down. And then I'm going to bring these down. I don't know if these little spacers are going to handle this. They might not. I think I'm changing it up. I'm going to change it up. So what I'm going to do, ooh, see, it won't go through both. I have to go one at a time. All right, so we're changing it up. So that one went on that one. So then what I'm going to do is take my spacer, because I love having this hint of copper in there. Then let's go ahead and add another bead on here. And I can't wait to show you the fun holes on some of these. All right, so now let's go ahead and do this. And I want them to move a little bit around, but not too much. So let's go ahead and then we'll put our knot right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna now just start push and pull, and I want it to go up against my finger where it's at. And it doesn't have to be exact science. Okay, there we go. Well, that's kind of cute. I possibly could do it a little bit closer together. But now let's go ahead. And once this comes together, I think it'll come together. Let's go ahead and add this one. And we'll add another one. So we'll add two on one side. And then we'll add one of these on another. We'll bring them all down to the end here. I usually do one bead and then knot it, but I kind of want two because I really like these rondelles. They're really pretty. And I could very easily just put it all on one, but I don't know, what's the fun of that, right? So now let's just go ahead and tie our overhand knot. And where do I want it to go? I want it to go about right there. So then let's just get that. And you can use a pair of tweezers to get exactly where you want it, but with this hemp cord, it's actually pretty cool. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. So I'm going to keep on going, and then I will come back when I get to the length that I want, because then we'll finish it off again with another cord end and folding end, and we'll put the lobster clasp, and we'll come right back. So do you remember me telling you about some like funky drilled ones? Look at this. So this one here, it starts out in the middle and then it kind of comes out the side. And I really dig that. I really dig it. And so I thought that that was fun to use. Oh, I have to make sure I'm on the right one. Yeah, I am nowhere near being done, but I just had to share that with you because I think it's kind of cool. Look at that. It's just, it sits a little differently and it's just, I don't know, pretty cool. Something else I thought of too is that this, if you want to make your segments, if you want to make them exactly the same amount, it's really easy to do that because with tying the knot, you can have your tape measure or anything here, and you can just very easily see, oh, okay, I'm gonna go about right here and tie your knot, and your finger is already there. And so then all you're doing now is bringing that down to where your finger is, or again, like I said, you can grab a pair of tweezers or something too, but very easily done. And this is how it's coming along. Would be a very cute anklet. But I'm just going to keep going. And here I thought I had so much extra cord here. I don't know if I have as much extra as I thought I was going to have. And so I'm hoping that I actually have enough because I wasn't planning on doing the knotting. And so the knotting is kind of taking up some of this some of the real estate of the necklace, but I also don't want a long necklace. I wanted this to be more like a choker, you know, just kind of beachy, choker-ish. And again, just, you can eyeball it to see, but also too, it doesn't matter. I'm not too worried about it being exact. So, but I am just kind of finding where I want it to go, and then pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing. And then also too, every once in a while, I just give each of them a little bit of tug on both sides. All right, so I'm gonna go back at it and see, first off too, if I can find another one of those crazy beads. I think this is another one. Yes, see how there's no hole right there? So then I turned it around and check this out. Let's see where it goes. There, see? Isn't that cool? I think that's so cool. I'm so excited for those. Just adds so much character to your necklace. And then also too, as I'm bringing it down, the spacer is not too bad to come down in one fell swoop, but some of these beads, you just have to take your time, because with the hemp cord, there is little, you know, little bumps in the cording, and and it's such a tight fit that you just need to be careful, because you don't want to ruin it at the same time. I just love how that is. It's so cool. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to doing my knotting and stringing, and I will come back when I get closer to the end. Actually, probably right at the end, because I don't want this to be a huge long video for you to have to watch. All right, so I'll come back. Okay, so I know that I want about this much more length in my necklace, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 more little segments here, and thought I would bring you back so that you can see these last 2 segments. And then we are going to finish it off. So excited. And actually, after I do this segment, I might kind of check again, just to see, because, you know, you're gonna have a clasp, some jump rings, you're gonna have a little bit of extra length there. So let's go ahead and do this, tie it off. So yeah, 50 inches, and I'm going for like maybe a 16-inch necklace. Let's see. So this is actually perfect. I'm not going to do the other extra one. So I'm going to go ahead, and these are going to get put away for another project. And so I don't want it to go flying. So we're going to put these away. And again, I still have quite a few in there. This project didn't take very much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the cording, and I want to try and have it about the same. So I'm going to cut it about here. So let's go ahead and cut it there. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our little guy there. And then if you want, you can just dab a little bit in there. I don't even know if I got any in there. Then go ahead and put those, add those in, and I just kind of hold on to them a little bit, a little sticking out, not much, but just hold it down a little bit. And then go ahead and make your little teepee. Okay, so bring the ends to the top so they form like an A. Then put it on top of your, inside your chain nose pliers, and give it a little bit of a squeeze. And there you go again. I do have a little bit hanging out there, and it's not the most attractive look. However, though, I mean, This is mine. I really don't care, and I like it to have a little bit of organic, you know, touch to it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in our jump rings and our lobster clasp. Okay. Okay, so now I have my bent chain nose pliers. I'm gonna go ahead and it doesn't matter what side you put them on. Here's why, is because I don't have a focal down here to have a front and a back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it this way. And again, you could tie this off and you can tie it directly to the cording. You don't have to have the cord ends. You don't have to have anything like that if you don't want to. All right, and then you can just tie your cording onto your jump ring. What I am going to do is I am going to close it off and get that nice and closed. Then I'm going to take this. I can't wait to get this pictured outside or photographed. I keep on saying pictured, but it's photographed. Okay, let's go ahead and put that through and put that through. And then there we go. Get that nice in there. Got it. All right, so then all you have to do, and then also to be sure to always check your lobster clasps before you put them on. You know, make sure that they fit on the jump ring. Like I said, this is a really thick jump ring, but then also to just make sure that they work. And there we go. We have a cute little beachy necklace, and it's a little choker necklace. So if you have, you know, some other, you can mix metals, you could do anything with this, but there we go. And this is what I used. I used some bead-on hemp cord, and this is the variety pack. So there's thick, less thick, starting to get thin and thinner. All right, now let's go ahead and bring in our earrings. So in the Findings companion pack, we did, so look, I've cut my glue. You had these head pins that had the, it's like a ball head pin that has the bead caps soldered on there, which is really, really cool. So what I did was I took those cushion beads here. So that's what these are. It's number 2 in your box. And then I had the leftovers from the bracelet. So I had one of the spacers that we used for in there. And then I had a little inky dinky little spacer here. That's a bright copper. Then I used some of the ear wires that were included in the Findings pack. So perfect. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to go ahead and do those. Oh, and of course I have to share my scraps. So the first thing I'm going to do is thread that on, make sure it's all nice and straight. Then we're going to go ahead and put this spacer on. Then we're going to go ahead and add our rondelle. Then we're going to add our little tiny guy, and he barely fits in this thick, into this thick head pin. And now what we're going to do is, since it is a thicker head pin, we're not going to go at the tippy tip. We're going to go in just a little bit more so that we can fit the 3 wraps around nicely. So we're going to go ahead and come in just a little bit because it is a thicker wire. So we have our 90-degree angle bend. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers, come in about so, and then form around the top barrel. Hold on to it, rotate so that you have this. We need to push this to the back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then also then we'll go ahead and center it. Now, these do open up, but if I don't have to open them, I'm not going to. It's kind of like a jump ring. If I don't have to open it, I'm not going to. So I'm just very slightly opening up this loop a little bit. Then with the back facing you, go ahead and thread that on so that once it goes through to the loop, the front is facing. How's that? Then go ahead and close that back up. And let's go ahead and put the tip of our chain nose pliers right there on top of the loop only. Then we're going to come around and do our 3 wraps. And we're going to go 1, And then we're gonna go 2, and then we're gonna go that third one. And I almost made it a little too short of a neck here. But I have that in there and it's nice and snug. Go ahead and trim off your end. And you can use your bent chain nose pliers on this, but if I have like an ear wire or something to hold on to, I will sometimes do that. Or I'll just go ahead and hold on, and then I have that little tail to stick in. So with the very tippy tip of my chain nose pliers, I'm gonna go ahead and tuck that in. Quick and easy pair of earrings. You didn't have to worry about bead caps because they're already there. And then I just added those 2 spacer beads that I had left over from my bracelet project. So here we have so far. We have so far our earrings, we have a bracelet, and now we have a necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and get these, get the necklace and the earrings photographed outside and get this video edited and get it posted up for you to watch. So be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Please comment. I'd love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe. I don't want you to miss the next video because the next video is going to be even more amazing. So please also do check out adornableelements.com and get yourself a subscription to the Beads of the Month. They have several different subscriptions to choose from. You choose what you like. This one was the double gemstones bead, double gemstone bead of the month. They also have fire polish. If you look at, I think if you watch my June video, I think my June video is fire polish. Check out those videos, and don't forget to use Bella10 at checkout for 10% off of your first month's subscription. Oh, and don't forget your companion pack. And until next time, have a good one.